Yeah, so I actually got profitable the beginning of this year, and every month I was kind of taking about 20 to 30K slowly. Some months I wouldn't make money, which is normal.
That's wild. 20 to 30K.
20, like I had a 30K month 2 months ago, and then MFF shuts down.
All right, guys, we're back. Another TFT Trader podcast. Today we're joined by Matteen. He's made over 6 figures with prop trading firms. He's made over $15,000 with the funded trader, joining us all the way from Canada, but originally from Afghanistan. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, is this your first pod?
This is my first pod.
Pod.
Yep.
Are you nervous?
Kind of nervous, a little nervous.
Yeah.
I did the online interview with Anna, but it hasn't been posted yet. But that was like a good start to it.
Shout out Anna.
Yeah, shout out to Anna. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's been so many of those online pods that we've done that haven't gotten posted. Yeah. I think the backlog right now, if we were to post every single day an interview, we would have interviews all the way until April of next year.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's just too many.
And it's kind of crazy because like that just shows like how many more successful traders are coming into the industry, but still there's a lot of other traders that are still fighting for that still. But it's just cool to see that slowly their people are staying consistent, disciplined, they're getting there with time.
Well, if you think about it, there's 20,000 payouts total in the history of the company, right? Wow. So 20,000 payouts have gone out, totaling 110 million.
Wow.
There's 6,000 unique people there that have been paid, which might not seem like a lot actually, right? But you know, if you get 10% of those people to interview, 600 people, then you have enough interviews for 2 years.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. 100%.
So that's kind of been our goal. Is obviously for us a big part of building the company. I mean, building any brand is testimonials, right?
Yep.
So we've been really trying to prioritize interviewing as one of the main selling points of the business. And even for me, like early on when I was trading with FTMO, I loved to watch the interviews. Yep. It was so inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had this one interview with that. There was a woman that interviewed. She made, I think, over 6 figures. And I just wanted to know, like, what was she thinking?
Yep.
Right?
Actually, it's funny you said that because a lot of the times when I was struggling to learn, and even now I do this, is I love to just, when I get my food or I'm having a rough week or a rough day in the markets, I would just watch a podcast. Because you can learn so much information from someone else's success, not just from their strategy, just from how their mindset works or what techniques they use when they have a rough day, or just like simple things in their life. You can learn so much. And there's so many, like I said, there's so many successful traders that are entering the markets. So there's so much people and so much information to grasp. Yeah. You know, you can never go wrong from learning from someone else.
Yeah, I think before probably like this decade or whatever, it was really hard to hear conversations. I mean, from anyone, obviously podcasts are new, but just like traders, right? To really hear from traders that were doing this in the market, like similar to you, really difficult to find them, really difficult to understand the 100%. Way that they were thinking. But now with all the podcasts that are out there, obviously you can get access to really anybody, right? Any industry, you can learn from them. And it's really a hack. Yep. I do that as well, right? When I'm eating, I'm watching, might not be podcasts, but I'm always watching like informational videos on YouTube or stuff like that. And it's really an interesting kind of situation that we're all in, like how much we have access to, how much information.
100%.
It's a bit overload in a way. You know, you got to be able to control it. But yeah, definitely good. What are like your favorite podcasts that you watch?
Right now, honestly, I like to just watch everything trading related. Mostly I watch the Funded Trader podcast. And before I answer that question fully, another cool thing I just remembered is actually like 2-3 years ago when I was like, not 2 years, like a year ago when I got into the prop firm industry. One thing I always was doing was watching the Funded Trader podcast and other prop firms. And I set a goal for myself where I have like a manifestation list where it's like, I'm going to be involved in a podcast one day. And you know, now like a year later, I'm sitting here in Miami getting a podcast, which is amazing. Because I used to never really believe in manifestation, but ever since my mom was the one person that was really onto it, and she always forced me to do these things, like make lists of goals I want to achieve. And I put this down, like being on our podcast, and boom, like 1 year later, I'm here sitting here in front of you, which is amazing.
Well, I think the thing is the whole manifestation thing is not woo woo to an extent. Let's put it like this: if you do like a vision board, right? and that vision board is in your room, and maybe you see that vision board every other day or something, right? It's just that reminder, like that subconscious programming that this is something that's in front of your face, that you're aware of, that you're gonna, when you see something else in the world, you're gonna think about it, right? So that all of that, the interwebs of the inner mind, right? If you give that information constantly, that conscious information, that's what manifestation is. It will happen, right?
I completely agree.
It will happen over time. So it's a very interesting thing. So this is the manifestation thing you didn't believe in, right?
No. I did believe in a sense, but I didn't believe it in like that magical way they put it. But what you said is right, because what I do, I usually look at it every morning and every night before I sleep, because now that allows my brain to realize that before I sleep, this is the last things I looked at, and when I wake up, it's the first thing I look at before I start my day. So it kind of like engraves into my whole day what, you know, my priorities in life.
How powerful is that? The whole before you like go to sleep and in the morning.
It's really powerful. Because I could have like a bad day in the markets, and then what I do with my list is I always put check marks to things I achieve in my list. So I open my list and I have a bad day, and I'm like, hey, this was in my list like 2 years ago, and I already achieved it. It's just a bad day, you know. It's just that's how it is, ups and downs. One thing I hate is a lot of people believe that once you become a profitable trader, it's just uphill from there. Like sometimes I find I have weeks where I still see myself like that same lonely trader that was struggling to get past phase one. Like just because now that I'm making this money off the markets doesn't make me an ultimate crazy trader that's going to start buying Lamborghinis and, you know, do all that crazy stuff. It's just more like I'm taking slow steps and learning new things to just build my foundation. Like another cool thing I always realized was like 3 years ago, I always dreamt to just be funded. I always like be in a podcast, just do the simple things. But now that I have it all, like all the stuff I always wish for, now I truly feel like this is just the beginning now, because now I'm finally getting my feet wet. Now it's truly the beginning. That was just the come up.
It's amazing. It's kind of, there's this famous speech by Matthew McConaughey where he's always looking at himself 10 years in the future. So he's always thinking about what he would be 10 years in the future and envisioning what that is. And that's like his vision or his hero, right? And so for you, myself, right, when you attain your goals and you attain success, you do have to change the target, right? You do have to think like you're thinking like this is the beginning. That's why with TFT, I'm constantly like that, where like through the messaging, like, oh, this is just the start of like what even though we've achieved like everything we wanted to achieve, right? It's always what's next? What's next? Like Tom Brady says, it's always about the next ring. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality of winning. Right?
You have to be like that, because if you get comfortable, where are you gonna upgrade from? You know, like you say, you're a risk taker. We're all risk takers. If you're not a risk taker, you're not going anywhere.
If you get comfortable, someone like me will come and will take everything from you.
100%. I agree. 100%. You have to take risks. Like even if you're getting to the point where you're so successful, you don't even want to take risks at this point. But then you're gonna get stuck there, and you could go even downhill from there if you're not gonna take more risks. Continue going up from there, because like you said, someone else can come and take it from you if you're not willing to risk it.
Well, the reason I say that is because I feel like in life, everyone is on a very equal playing field in a way. Maybe not. Maybe there's some inequity there. But to an extent, right? And we all have 24 hours, right? That's the playing field that I'm talking about. We all have 24 hours. We all can make decisions. Inevitably, if me and you are striving for the same goals, but within my 24 hours, I make a lot of decisions that are extremely disciplined, that get myself in a position where I'm extremely focused all the time, right? When we're going in a straight line and you're maybe making some decisions that are getting you off course and I'm going straight ahead, I'm ultimately going to get to that goal sooner than you. And if we're in competition, you know, I'm going to pass you and get in front of you, and then you're going to be trying to compete with me
100%.
Constantly, right? So yeah, I think that I'm not saying that in a way like, oh, I'm going to take everything from you, right? It's just that I do look at business as a game, as a competition. You know, I do look at business as it's you versus something else, right? It could be you versus yourself, you versus the market, you versus 100%. This. So yeah, definitely gotta stay ready. Don't get content. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's like the mindset that you have that create one of the top prop firms in the industry right now. You know, without that mindset, you know, there would be other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's really important to do exactly what you just said.
Oh, there can only be one.
Exactly. You have to say that way.
I've said that so many times, other than like every day.
That's, you know, you keep telling yourself, you know.
Well, it's so much deeper than that. So for you, how do you frame your psyche to become a profitable trader? Right? Like, why are you successful? Like, what do you think about mentally?
Honestly, I think psychology is like everyone says it, psychology is the biggest part of trading, which I mean, I completely agree. The small increment that I don't agree, like people who say complete 100% is the most important part, I don't agree, because you can have an unprofitable strategy and that's going to be the main reason why your psychology is so bad, because you're so used to losing. Now, if you have an edge that actually succeeds a certain amount of time, then that allows your psyche to kind of like adapt to your strat. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're always losing, of course your psychology is going to always be bad and you won't be able to be consistent because there's no hope. So you have to at least develop an edge that will guarantee you a certain percentage of profitability, and then you can tune in your psyche into your edge, if you get what I'm trying to say. And so the things
You're basically
do,
saying if you have a bad strategy, of course you're going to be feeling negative.
Exactly.
You don't have the skill or the strategy to have success. Yeah.
Like even with my strategy right now, I think I get around a 60 to 65% win rate. And there's times where I completely lose myself. Even as I say, I'm a profitable trader now. I'm not perfect. Like I have weeks where sometimes I forget certain rules. Sometimes like certain discipline parts of me come out and I make bad mistakes, resulting in me losing money, resulting in losing accounts. But at the end of the day, I know what it takes to be profitable. And all it takes is that quick, switch up back to the right mindset, and I'll bring it back. Like a good example was actually a couple months ago, I had a funded account where I was actually down about 9-10%. And I was at this point, I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this, it's gone. But then I I'm like, hey, if I know I'm profitable, why can't I just bring this account back? So I completely switched myself. I gave myself a week off on the markets, came back on Sunday next week, completely came with the right mindset, and I was able to bring that account back into profit, into 8%, and get a profit. I think a payout for about 16,000 from that same account.
That's wild.
Yeah, that was like a wake up call.
Serious mental fortitude.
Yeah, it took some crazy. Also, it took me to make some sacrifices, like actually hold my trades and maybe take in some stacked positions. But if you can do it, you can do it. If you just give up, you're gonna lose the account. You have to always believe in yourself and know. And that's why data is so important. Sorry, I just jumped to data, but collecting data is so important, because at the end of the day, when you're taking these loss streaks, your data will prove to you that, hey, like if I continue to do what I'm doing, I'm profitable at the end. And when I give up on that certain things, then you're gonna go the opposite way.
Collecting data is the biggest difference between you being an emotional mess and ultimately you just being a great decision maker.
100%.
If you just continue to rely on only emotions and only what you think, then you're going to end down probably the wrong path.
Agreed.
Right? The data can bring you back to the truth. Always.
100%.
So,
and I actually just thought about, like, when you asked in the beginning about my psychology, one of my actually favorite techniques for psychology is, I know people can probably use this, is I don't know if you know FX Alex G. Yeah. He has like the set and forget strategy. But from the set and forget word, what I usually like to do now is, I'm a London trader. And what I like to do is, with my strategy, it's kind of an intraday strategy. So I'm trading on the hourly time frame. And usually I don't have my setups during London. So what I do is I set limits and I just go to sleep. And I shit you not, that's my most profitable strategy, is just setting a limit and going to sleep. I swear. Like if I'm on the charts, I'm a mess.
Right.
If I just set a limit, I'm a profitable trader.
See, this is why in the last pod he asked me, do I still trade? This is why I wish, to an extent, I don't want to say I traded, because obviously I have the choice to do it, but I wish I prioritized it, because I like that type of strategy. For me as well, if I sit on the charts, so I try to intraday trade, I'm way too emotional. I just go crazy. But if I do that set and forget type strategy, where I'm doing my TA, I'm doing my fundamental analysis, it all lines up, boom, put it on, don't look at it until it hits TP or 100%. Stop loss. That is a legitimate way to go about doing this.
And there'd be times where I would get tapped in before I sleep, and I would have the worst sleep of my life. But hey, if you're gonna make money, you can sacrifice some sleep. Yeah. But like I would wake up with bad dreams. I'll be like, oh, grab my phone quickly, check my MT4. I'd check my MT4. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in profit. Okay, I go back to sleep, wake back up. Oh, it's 5:30. There's news. Close out. Oh, boom, you made like 7K during your sleep, and it's flex. You wake up, you tell your mom, hey, I just made this much money while I was sleeping. So it's pretty cool. But like ultimately behind that is, like, you're not there to mess with your trade. You're not there to, oh wait, what if it gives me a deeper entry? Oh wait, what if it, it's gonna put you in, it's gonna hit your stop, or it's gonna go into your TP.
So I have a question. If you were to do these stop loss, these limits, right? These limit orders before you go to sleep, the next day, when would you check it?
So what I usually do, my rules is, if there's big news, I would like to get onto the charts right before, like I'd set an alarm on my phone. Let's say there's news at 5:30 NFP is dropping. I'd wake up around 5:25. I'll see where my trade is. My trade's deep in profit, I'd just close it out. If my trade's break even, I'd close it out. If my trade is in a bit of near my stop, I'd still close it out. And the reason being is I can't risk NFP going in the wrong direction and complete blowing my account, especially it's a prop firm account, right?
Yeah.
So that's my rules of that. But usually what I like to do is if I'm happy with the profits, I'll just close out. And I think a lot of traders forget that at the end of the day, like you're running 6K. Do you know how much money 6K is? We're actually having a talk about this earlier before the pod, how like we're so desensitized to the amount of money we're making on the markets. Like we would go out here and be like, let's plan a trip to Mexico. You know, it's like going to cost 2K. And we're like, whoa, that's so much money. But here you are, like you see 2K in the market. You're like, that's nothing. I want more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like people are so desensitized to money and it's crazy. Like you could literally get funded 100K and aim to make 2K a week. And that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But people don't see that. People are like, oh, this guy got a 50K payout. I want a 50K payout. I want to beat this guy.
That's how you lose.
That's how you lose. And you know, people understand that and they pay the price for it. And some people get lucky and they do make those 60, 70K months. But if you want to be a consistent, disciplined trader, you got to be comfortable with setting a cap for yourself and just hitting that, taking it slow, because that one day it's going to add up, and you're going to be able to open that big live account. You're going to get that big amount of
trading can be so exciting.
Yeah. There's so many goals you can set. That's why I love trading so much. So many goals. It can be
so fun.
But so many bad days too at the same time.
It can be so fun, but at the same time, it can be so upsetting.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
It could really destroy you.
100%. Yeah. One thing I'm dealing with right now is like the loneliness, not with the friends and like relationship. It's just the loneliness of my job. Like I used to work at a police station before. Before I wanted to be a trader, I wanted to be a police officer. That was like my goal. I worked at a police station, a jail. And like at least in that jail, I was trading too in the jail, which is, I'll tell you that later. But at least when I was working in jail, I had like coworkers, like police officers to talk to, even the prisoners. You know, you have people to talk to, you communicate with. You know, you're having a rough day, you can have a chat with one of your buddies. But in like trading industry, you have nobody. You know, yes, you can message your buddy on Telegram or Discord, but it's not the same as having like a human communication. Yeah, like proper communication with someone. So coming from Vancouver, BC, I've tried to reach out to like traders, but it seems to have none there. So for me, that's one of my biggest struggles right now is networking myself, meeting like-minded people.
When we were doing the whole trading community thing, there definitely wasn't as many from Canada traders, but I found the few that I met were always super nice, always super committed, right?
It's like Canadian, you know, the Canadian super nice.
They were always crazy. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what that is, but they're super nice, like super committed to learning, right? Like good people to have in the circle, right?
Yep.
So they're out there, right? You just have to do your best to try to locate them.
100%.
There definitely aren't that many though.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%. Like one thing the reason I asked about that is because at one point in my career, my biggest turning point was I had 3 buddies. They're a bit younger than me, but they're also traders. And what we used to do is we used to meet each other at one of my buddies' house every day for London session, and we would trade together. And we would set limits. We'd go we'd enter our trades. We'd go play video games. We'd go watch movies every day for we did 2 months of it. And that was the first time I ever got funded, and the first time I ever made money from trading after like years of losing. And that's the reason being is we were all so disciplined and consistent in that room because
you're holding each other accountable.
I couldn't go and just close the trade out because my 2 friends would be, what the hell are you doing? You have to follow us. But there's 3 of us working together pretty much. And like lots of money can be made with a good team, you know, because everyone's holding each other accountable. Everybody's watching over your shoulders. You have a bad day, you all having a bad day. You know, talk it out. When you're by yourself, you know, you're a lone wolf. It's you versus yourself.
When you're by yourself, it's definitely a lot more challenging to hold yourself accountable.
Exactly.
Right? When you're with a team, you're gonna hopefully get the strengths of each of the team members, right?
Exactly.
We each have weaknesses. You're gonna hone on each other's strengths if you're good fits with each other. And you're gonna have a good time.
100%. That's the main part, a good time. Imagine hitting a TP with like 5 buddies, like 3 buddies. You're all like, you know, as much as you're not supposed to celebrate your wins, but you have to celebrate a win.
Of course,
come on.
yeah.
You know, you're all jumping around. Like, we just made 5K each person. You know, let's book a trip to Mexico tonight. Let's go here. You know, it's nice.
Yeah.
So that's why like I think it's good. A good way to build
in anything, man. Business, trading,
100%.
right? Any endeavor, right? Sports, team, like having that camaraderie. It's definitely next level. It's like. It's not just about you, it's about the community, your family, right? All that stuff.
Yeah,
so
like
it's all about.
A lot of people like to get rich by themselves because they want to flex on each other, you know. But at the end of the day, like, okay, you have money now, but what are you going to do with this money if you're by yourself? Don't you want a team of friends to go celebrate with that money, go travel with, or you want to go by yourself?
Right.
You know what I mean? So people need to get rid of that little greedy aspect of themselves where they want to be the only rich person. Once you can open up to that, then the whole world opens to you in a sense.
So for you with this group that you met, right? That you were trading, you said it went on for what, 2 or 3 months?
2 or 3 months, and then
what happened?
It wasn't really problems between us. We're all still friends, but lifestyle changes. One of us switched to New York. One of us kind of detached themselves. They were having a bad time in life, and they kind of started correlating on all of us. So at that point in my head, I'm like, I want to do this full time. This is something I see myself. I gave up on policing. I gave up on education. You know, this is my future.
You're all in.
Yeah, I'm all in. So I knew that I had to figure this stuff myself, or it's gonna be my downfall again.
Yep.
So I detached myself. I started trading London every night. We were still in communication, like talking here and
there.
What
are you guys doing? You're smoking a little weed too?
No. We're actually like, all of our buddies really religious and stuff. So like they're all like away from that type of stuff, which is good. That's kept us really focused.
Yeah, stay focused.
Exactly.
Stay
but
on it.
yeah, we kind of detached, and then I kind of figured out myself. Slowly, kind of implemented the stuff I learned from there, and then slowly I grasped on, and here I am today.
Let's go.
Yep.
That's called the level up.
Exactly.
You know, you help that take another step.
Yep.
So you said for you had made 6 figures in a year of trading. Right?
Yeah. So I actually got profitable the beginning of this year, and every month I was kind of taking about 20 to 30K. Slowly, some months I wouldn't make money, which is normal.
That's wild. 20 to 30K.
20. Like I had a 30K month 2 months ago, and then MFF shuts down.
You had most of your accounts at MFF?
Yeah, I had max funding with them.
Yeah.
That's my fault. I had a lot of people who told me, hey, like split where your platforms are.
I always say this too.
Yeah.
Like, even like people that trade TFT, I'm like,
it's smart.
It's common sense. Like just spread everything. Like get an account here.
Yeah.
Diversify yourself. Trade them differently, maybe. Right? Like
agreed.
Smart.
I wish I did that, honestly, because that took a big hit on my psychology and my trading and my success, because it slowed me down a lot. You know, I worked so hard to get that funding.
Crushing. You lose all your accounts.
I worked so hard to get that funding and get that. I was in a roll. Like I remember I leased myself an Audi R8 for the month. Like I was just, because the thing is I'm a car guy, right? So I'm passionate about that stuff. So that was my all-time goal, to have an R8. So I'm like, it was the end of summer. I was like, might as well just lease one. No point of going to buy one right now. So I had that. I was just in a row, and then boom, funding gone, all that. So I was like, good, I didn't buy the R8 right now. As much as I could afford it, it's just stupid. Any expensive car is a stupid decision.
Yeah, R8's not cheap.
It's not. No, it's not.
Really, like 200K?
200K, yeah. But
my old partner had an R8.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Yeah.
It's just a good motivation factor. Like waking up, you know, you get stopped out, but hey, you have an R8 and you're going to go drive your R8.
So for me, that was me moving to Miami. Like my motivation is where I live, like, you know, my apartment, like whatever, my environment, right? That was for me, like, all right, if I'm going to be going this hard, you know, I want to be where I live. I want it to be like super peaceful. Like I want it to be in a nice area, right? All that stuff. That's what I like to spend my money on. No, I just landed in Miami like yesterday, and already I'm like, first time here. I was like, wow, this place is sick. I see why a lot of traders are here. Like, I think it was Dubai and Miami was like the 2 trader central areas. But wow, I was just around my hotel area. Like I love it. Like the rooftop pool, like beautiful weather. You know, you can't go wrong. The weather is like sick right now.
Like back in Vancouver right now, it's raining. It's like 8 degrees there, you know.
You're gonna go back. I'm
gonna be like, can I come back for another interview?
You're all right, dude. Is he still alive over there?
Come on. No, that's funny.
Well, I'm from New Jersey, so it's like similar weather, just rainy, like you know, it's cold as shit.
Like it gets nice sometimes, but not enough, you know, to enjoy yourself.
It's just not. The weather is not one of the positive things about living there.
And especially being a trader too, like you have these rough times and you get hit with 8 degrees and rain, and then you're inside your home,
sad,
bro.
You're big time.
See here, you have a bad day, go to the beach, you know. Go have some fun.
The best part I like about here is like, although it's very touristy, right? You have South Beach, and then you have all the nice ass hotels over there, so you can always do a spa day, or a beach day, or whatever. And it's like you go on vacation.
100%.
It's like 20 minutes away.
Dude, like if I had a good payout, let's say I would go treat myself to, like what you just said, a luxury hotel here, stay there. It's like a vacation. Dude, the amount of service they have and the way they treat you here, it's awesome. I love it.
Sick.
Yeah.
So talking about like some of your goals, right? So what you've gotten 6-figure in payouts. How much do you have in funding right now?
Right now, actually, I have about, I think 200K. And the reason being is after my forex funds got shut down, I began opening a live account. So I bought most of my funding into a live. So I accumulated a lot of money from payouts.
Like, fuck prop.
I was like, screw this. I'm like,
you're like, they're gonna fuck me over.
This is gonna happen again. So I'm like, I'm gonna open a big live account. I opened a big live account and I did pretty good. You know, I made about 15K.
With what broker?
8cap.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. The reason I went to 8cap is because of I saw all the prop firms using them and I saw they're regulated. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is the safest place to transfer this much money. So I started one with them. I did pretty good. I made about 15K my first month. Next month, next month hits, and then I had a really bad time.
Oh no!
I didn't lose money. I didn't lose my own money. I'm still up, but it made me realize how good of a thing prop firms are. Because as soon as I started trading live, the emotions really hit me. You know what I mean? Because before, when I was using $1,000, I was already paid out for my money that I invested into the prop firm. I'm not losing any money, but now I'm actually losing money every time I take stop losses. So my emotions really came into check. And I have a psychological coach, and he kind of said to me like, "Hey, it's your first time doing this," and you're
like learning from scratch.
Literally, it felt like that. So I came to the conclusion where it's smarter for me to stay with prop firms until I've accumulated enough profits where I can dump 50 to 100K, and I can be like, okay, if I lose it, it's not going to scratch me.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's the best time to do it. When it's almost like 60% of your like net worth, you know, of course there's going to be emotions involved and it's not smart.
When you can go broke.
Exactly. Like I'm going to be back on the street.
When like you can't afford any bills after. Yeah.
Literally. So that's
a tough situation.
I'm like, you know what? It's smarter to let's maybe take half this live account out, invest back into my prop firms. Like I purchased a few prop firm accounts with you guys right now already, and I have a few with other companies too. I'm working on those and putting some into crypto, putting some into other assets right now. So bringing some more growth of income. And another thing I'm really focused on is finding another way to make income, because as much as trading is a big source of income, relying on it completely will cause your emotions to get all over the place. You know, your psyche could go all over the place. And when you have income source, you don't have to trade every day. You know, I could take my 2 trades a week, which is the most profitable I've ever been, was taking 2 trades a week. And that's the best way to do it.
I think this is an important realization for yourself, is that it's crucial to have other sources of income.
100%.
You know, you really should, whether they're hard assets or other business ideas, you know, whatever it is, you definitely should be having other sources of income, because that diversification gives you the freedom to make better decisions. Right? If everything is it hinges on this one thing, it could work, right? But it's just a very stressful way to live.
Like I feel like majority of my bad months and bad weeks in forex was exactly from what you said, was just not having a sense of confidence in income, where I was just forced to make trades. I was forced to trade a lot. Like
that's the worst.
Sometimes a few months ago, I lost an account because I was just trading every day. I wanted to make money. And if I would have just chilled out and traded my 1 to 2 trades a week, you know, that account probably made me a lot more money. And, you know, my live account would have been doing beautifully too. But it was just like that attachment to making money.
So you're still trading a live account right now?
I still am trading a live account, but I've completely split the amount in half. It's going way better now that I have prop firms on my second hand. So it almost feels like I'm managing like 2 different businesses, but still at the end of the day, it's still trading.
It really is like 2 different businesses.
It is, honestly,
you know,
like
strategy wise and everything. So.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking to this time scaling to 7. I want to get at least 2 figs in funding this time. Last time I hit almost $1 million, and then my forex funds hit, and then boom.
What did you have with them? 500?
I had 600K with my forex funds, and I had I think a 400K account with you
guys.
I
heard a rumor that they're coming back.
No way.
I heard a rumor.
Do you think that would mean that everybody would get their accounts back and everything?
I don't know. That's what I heard. I heard they're gonna get fined like a big amount and be able to come back.
That'd be amazing for the industry.
I'm not trying to spread any misinformation.
No, that would be amazing for the industry in a sense of like people saying like, hey, you know, prop firms are like an investable place to invest money in. But then again, if they don't, I feel bad. Like my little brother, I taught him how to trade, and he actually just got his first funded account with my forex funds, and they got shut down. I felt so bad for him.
It's crazy.
But you know, it's the way it is. You know.
Yeah, I think that there is a possibility that it happens, and if their assets get unfrozen, then they probably would just re-enable accounts or to some extent do something. I don't know.
Restart from the scratch, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? That'd be so interesting.
Yeah, that would be crazy. It was funny when they shut down.
And for you, they're in Canada, right? Yep. So it's like kind of your home thing.
Yeah, 100%. And it'll be nice to maybe get the funding back. You know, it'd be cool. You know, maybe by then I'll have accumulated enough funding where I get another 600K just added to my pocket. You know, win-win situation. That'd be amazing. That'd be best day of my life. I'll be coming back to Miami that day.
You're moving to Miami.
Yeah, I'm moving to Miami 100%.
Yo, that's so crazy. So talking about your actual strategy, right?
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
My strategy is, I wouldn't say retail or smart money. It's in between. So what I do is all my years of learning, I was doing the toxic thing of learning a bunch of strategies, which obviously that's not a smart thing to do. It makes you unprofitable. But I
think it's an important thing to do.
It's very important because I learned so much. And my turning point was, instead of copying a certain strategy, I built my own strategy where I used all these different gurus' techniques and I put the confluences all together and developed something where I enjoy doing. So what it came down to me is Fib being one of my ultimate confluences, which a lot of people like to use, and then a bunch of other confluences.
Which level on the Fib?
618, 786 for gold, 786 for gold, 618 for forex pairs. Okay. Those are my golden zones. And a bunch of other confluences like previous high of the day.
382.
No, 382 has been moving good this week. That's all I'm gonna say. When the market's like war and crazy, you know, it just 382 is
those quick moves.
Dude, it loves the 382. And that's why I was getting shit on this week because of the 382. But just using the Fib and a bunch of different confluences and putting it all together, and I just pretty much trade trend pullback. And it's made me profitable.
Really? Yeah. Trend pullback.
Simple like that.
What time frame mainly?
1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour, 15 minute for like refinement for entries. And honestly, bro, that's changed everything for me. And sell limits and buy limits. So that would be that's a psychology tip. Like put your sell limits and leave it and get the hell out of there.
So you had mentioned the Set and Forget by Alex, right? Did you take any of his courses or anything like that?
I actually never took any of his courses, but I do watch his videos, like how he reads structure. I like how he reads structure and all that, but honestly never learned anyone's strategy. I'm not from him, but I learned
he trades a very interesting way.
He does. It's very simple.
I actually learned some things from him in his free Telegram at one point. It's very like his is all break and retest type strategies, right?
Simple.
Very simple, like he limits stuff like that. Yeah,
I respect him a lot because he's one of the most transparent gurus that made it. I think in like the whole space. If you show like recently he's been having a rough time and he's just been showing it all, you know, and I respect that. You know, a lot of people are so key on their signals and courses and all
it's
that.
Just that when you get to a certain size, you're gonna be more prone to be getting attacked. Right, and he's under attack. You know, for several different things right now, and he's trying to navigate the best way that he can. But ultimately, you know, if he stays focused, stays disciplined, like stays transparent about what he's doing, he'll end up in a better position.
100%.
Right? For sure.
It's cool because it shows people out there that are having bad times. Like, look, these big gurus are having the same problems as you. They just don't show it. You know, everybody goes through the same thing. It's the way trading is. You're not going to be a perfect trader. You're not going to win all the time. You're going to lose funded account. Just because you lose a funded account does not make you a bad trader. It's normal. And another thing I hate on a lot is people like hating on the way the prop from like the module works on people. You know, but the markets are the same way. You know, someone has to lose for you to enter. Someone's gonna lose their challenge in order for someone to get funded and get a payout. You know, it's the same thing.
It's an interesting.
If you're gonna put money in a broker, same thing in a prop firm. At least in a prop firm, you're not gonna actually lose
a lot
capital.
of people will say this about me. They'll say, "Oh, he's betting against everyone," right? Which is interesting, right? It's an interesting statement. I think at the end of the day, this is what people have to realize. If people didn't win, we wouldn't have a business. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I'm rooting for people to win, right? I'm rooting for everyone. Like the fact of the matter is, people are not going to be successful because the human being is flawed in the sense that it's hard to remain disciplined. Like it's hard to remain focused. It's hard to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. So I'm not necessarily betting against anyone, right? I'm really just looking at how does the human interact with the market? How does the human interact with really anything, right? Any situation. And ultimately there's odds, right? Ultimately there's a success and a failure rate. So that's my theory, right? That's ultimately what my theory is. So I think the more that we can balance the payouts and obviously the revenue, right? And we can have it in a way where people are getting paid, you know, without doing anything to mess anyone's accounts up or anything. You know, the more we can maintain that equilibrium, the company's going to grow way more, right? If there's too much failing going on, there's not enough payouts. Ultimately, it's not going to energetically be a situation that people are going to want to participate in, right? The chance of success isn't high enough. So we're just trying to balance that, and long term, just trying to think about how can we talked about data earlier. Long term, we're just like, how do we utilize the data right? I think a lot of this last 2 years has been, how do we balance the risk of like the challenges and the rules and the broker and all like the brokers that we're offering between demo and live? Like, how do we balance all this? And the next evolution of this is how do we monetize this data more than anyone could ever foresee, right? Like, how do we really find an edge? And it's not easy with retail trading.
No.
You know?
100%. And another thing is, speaking of that, is I don't think people have thanked you enough, because you've given so many opportunity to people to change their lives. Like I said, me 2 years ago dreamed to be here. Now I'm sitting here like with the CEO of the Funded Trader, doing a podcast. And if I didn't have access to a prop firm, I would not be here right now. I would probably be blowing live accounts, putting 5K in a live, blow. But you gave the opportunity to a lot of traders to really change their lives. And people need to be appreciative of that.
I really appreciate it.
Hating of all the hate people get for prop firms and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a tough business, man.
Yeah.
I agree. Finance is tough. Like when there's money involved, right? People really like show the worst sides of themselves. So I think finance is a tough industry to operate within. Obviously from my perspective, I definitely feel as though the Funded Trader and other firms as well are offering great opportunities 100%. To people. But it does come down to you, right? You're the one that's behind the chart. You're the one that's behind the phone, the computer, taking the trades, and your room, remaining disciplined. I just think it's truly amazing that in the beginning of time, like when I started my entrepreneurial journey, it was, how can I find something to do where I don't need to have a boss, and it all comes down to my decisions, right? Because I was so confident in myself. And now this opportunity truly is, this is on you. You know what I'm saying? It's not on me, right? It's on you. You make better decisions, you will get paid. 100%. That's what this is. I think it's amazing.
All comes down to the trader ultimately. You've given us the tools and what we need to become successful, and it comes down to us. We could complain, you did this, you did that. Oh, this is why I didn't get the funded account. This is why. But at the end of the day, like the people who are profitable and the people who are getting payouts, do you see them complaining? No, it's the ones that, like, I'm not hating on anyone who's unprofitable. I've been in your shoes. I've been through that. There's times where I got pissed at a prop firm, But at the end of the day, in order to be successful in this industry at what we have, the capital we have to go through prop firms, and and it's just a benefit to us.
I'm going to give you an example of something that happened to me, right? I had a situation where me and one of my partners, we invested in something, right? And the investment went really south. Like I probably lost 200K on the investment, right?
Wow.
And so big hit, right? And this has happened to me before. Like several years ago, I had lost 50K in crypto.
Wow.
So I've had these things happen to me before. So it was a 200K investment and it went south. Now, what are my options, right? I can choose to go to the police or go to the FBI and file reports and try to get the money back and say this is theft and waste a lot of time. I can start to sue them out the ass and all this stuff. Certainly an option, right? Option number two, or another direction could be, all right, I'll write this off as a loss for my taxes, end up saving X amount on taxes, 70K, whatever, and then focus on the next thing, right? And focus on what is learn from this, focus on the next thing, right? And I more likely will make more money by doing that, by taking the loss, understanding that it was a mistake, whatever, and maybe they fucked me over, but it is what it is, and focusing on the next thing, than just consistently trying to get back what I think was mine.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So that's at least my mentality. And that correlates
perfectly back to like challenges. Instead, like you lose a challenge, it's all good. What did you do wrong? Why did you lose this challenge? And what can you do next time and to make sure you succeed the next time? And like the way the strategies, everything are built, you're going to lose maybe 2-3 challenges in a row, but that fourth one could be the one that gets you funded, and the fourth one could be one that can change your life. You don't know that. Like until I achieved my profitability in the markets, I lost, I don't know, maybe 21 challenges. And I'm open to say that because I learned off challenges. I look at them as, hey, this is tuition I paid for
I think they're one of the best learning tools in the market.
I literally paid to learn. I lost 15, 20K, but how much money have I just made in like span of 6 months?
Right.
And what more is to come now? Do you know what I'm saying? So as much as you're spending a lot of money on challenges and you think you're losing a lot of money, just think of it as your education. You're paying to learn, and ultimately one day, after a lot of consistency and discipline, and you're actually eager to change the way you trade if you're making mistakes, you will be successful.
I want to be very clear that we are not per se an educational tool. Like that's not our product, right? We're not an education company. But this can be, if you utilize it in a way, a very educational type opportunity, right? You can learn a lot from this because if you're just trading $1,000 in a brokerage account and you have set no limits for yourself, you just go until you blow it. You know what I'm saying? If you put 1,000, if you split that up by a couple 25K accounts, and all of a sudden now you have a dashboard, you have rules that you have to stay. Like this is a business. This is a strategy.
You're literally trading like a business. Yeah.
So I think that's a huge component of all this, is making everyone so much better. Although everyone is hating on all these rules
Yeah.
and I'm blowing my account and is it the broker and is it this?
No, the rules is what made me the trader today. Without those rules, imagine you come into a live account without the rules a prop firm has taught you. What would you do? You would take 20 setups in a day. You would blow that. You can blow $1,000 account in a day. Yeah. But I remember when I started my live account, I would lose 1 or 2 trades, and in my head, I'm automatically wired to stop trading. I'm like, oh, my max drawdown is like 3-4%. I need to stop. And it was my live account, and that's amazing. That just sets me up for success. I'm literally wired mentally that I'm always trading a prop firm account, and that's the best possible thing that you can do to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not. Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah. 100%. That's something like no money can buy. It's just stuck in my head now, and I love that.
Because that's wild. Because that's like you're trading your own money as if it's investors' money then at that point. Yeah. Or whatever.
It just completely rethinks the way you think because you're so used to something. Trading challenge accounts for 1 to 2 years, the rules become part of you. Yeah. Everything.
So one last thing I'm interested in is, and a lot of people want to know this, right? Yeah. What is your routine that you go through during the week?
So that's a good question. That's something actually I don't struggle with, but I'm still to this day working on because one issue I have is I have too much free time being a full-time trader where I catch myself getting onto the markets and at times I shouldn't be on the markets because I'm so bored. But what I've realized is I built myself a pretty good routine that I need to start following strictly is I like to wake up. I go for a run first thing in the morning. I come back and make my breakfast. Then I head to the gym. I spend about an hour to 2 hours in the gym. Gym is really important. I think everybody should gym. It's one of the most important things in your life, discipline-wise.
I second that.
Yeah, mentally, gym. Everything. It just will fix you. If someone's jacked, I'm more comfortable in getting into a business with them than someone who's like overweight or something because you just know the discipline with themselves.
Yeah, I will not comment on what I think about people that are overweight, but I
don't want to be rude. But
I just think we need to have more discipline.
Yeah, because if you want to, taking care of your health is so important. If you're gonna get rich and you're gonna get some disease and hope, God forbid, pass away, what's the point? You want to be on top of everything you do in life. But yeah, so get to the gym and then I like to come home, watch some educational videos. And then around 7:30, I like to start charting up for London, look where I'm going to set my limits. And then 11 o'clock, I like to look at the markets again until like 12:30, see what's happening, see if my limits are going to get tapped. Maybe I have to redo my analysis. Something happened, a high got taken. And then sleep, wake up, made 10K or got stopped out. No, but you know what I mean.
Do it all again.
Yeah, do it all, repeat. Yeah.
Oh, dude, but that's great.
What you said, I want to find ways to kind of implement other things to do to keep me busy so I don't have to want to trade because I want to make money. Maybe find another business to do like you said, or find ways to make passive income or even just hard assets to invest into. That's one thing I'm looking into. And another thing is networking myself, building a team of traders to travel with, to learn with, not even just make money with, just to engage with. Yeah. And I have some friends that I'm waiting to catch up and join me in that journey.
They're going to find some people ahead.
Yeah, everybody's in their own path. I'm not pressuring my friends, but I know how trading works. It takes time. Once you click, you're good. But until they get there, I don't want to pressure them and make them, feel like shit. Yeah, exactly. Because, I remember I used to feel like that when I saw people above me.
Have you thought about like creating a business within trading, right? A lot of people like sell courses, all this stuff, right? Have you or no?
I did. At one point, I started posting stories of my success on trading, but the bad thing was I was posting in my main Instagram, so it almost came out as if I was flexing to the people I live around. Right. Because I'd be like, oh my God, I made 15K today just doing this. Yeah, that's a big mistake I made. And it was just going towards people I know. Like I said, I came out like a bad person. I'm just flexing on my friends and my family. Right. So I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I need to build a separate Instagram, a separate account and start going from scratch.
Like, this guy all of a sudden gets some balls, starts flexing on us.
My buddies texting me, so when are we going out this week? When are we doing this? So this on you this week. I'm like, oh, why did I do this?
It's a valid response though.
It is. They're
like, oh, you're making all this money. Why don't you pick up the tab?
Exactly. Yeah. I get that, but at the end of the day, I'm here to try to maybe teach people. I had like 2 mentor students that came into start helping them, and they actually turned into become more friends than actually students. And that's how I'm as a person though, because I'm a really communicative person. I like to build relationships with people. Like I don't view my students as students. I view them as like my friend, Just because they invested money into me doesn't mean I'm better than them. They're still human.
We want to know, what's this year? Why are Canadians so nice?
Honestly, man, I don't know. I think I was just raised in a really good family. My mom, my dad they're older than me, but they stayed young. Do you know what I'm saying? So I always adapted a lot to how they taught me, and I just stayed that way always. I just know how you treat someone is how you'll be treated back.
The answer is family.
Family, 100%.
Yeah.
If someone's brought up in a good family, they're gonna be a good person.
Yeah.
And another funny thing is I'm in a relationship. I have a really good girlfriend that's helped me through the whole journey. But one thing, when you're looking for a girlfriend, what is the main thing to look to? their family. You
Their
know,
family,
are they good with their parents? Boom, you're in good hands.
Yep.
Bad with family. You know, you're gonna get a little sketchy
like,
there.
You're signing up for a little disaster there.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, that's great. That's interesting. Well, listen, I've always had great experiences working with Canadians through our, like I told you, through our trading communities. You know, I think that they've always been really nice people. So hopefully more of them can get involved 100%. In the trading community, man. I don't know if they're risk takers though. Are Canadians risk takers? Or more conservative?
The funny thing about risk taking is they're a bit more conservative, but the funny thing about risk taking is, as a kid, I had a little gambling addiction of mine. And I think that's what made me the
gambling on.
I used to play. Do you know? I don't know if you play video games at all. But back when I was a kid, I used to play a game called Counter-Strike. I feel like a few people will understand.
I've heard of it, yeah.
I used to gamble on the skin. So there'd be like an in-game currency.
Yeah.
And there'd be jackpot sites where you can play, and it was real money. And as a kid, I would be gambling, and I would take like $100 to $1,000 in CS:GO, and I would sell it, and I'd make money, and that's what fed this little little thrill of mine. Yep. And then I knew being a trader, as much as it is professional gambling at the end of the day, but having an edge and all that, you know, it's not gambling in a sense, but it just brought me into trading very nicely. Huh?
It's finance.
It's finance, exactly. You know.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. A funny thing is, like in my religion, I'm Muslim, so gambling is haram in a sense. It's not right, but there's so many people who are fighting against. No, it's right. No, it's wrong. And a lot of people actually went to like the high people to like the what's it called, the mosques to ask if it really is good. But no, it was right.
Really?
Yeah, it was halal. So that's why I don't know if you know, but a lot of people in prop firms are probably Muslim. Like I see a lot of your people are from like Pakistan and these crazy countries, and I see that they're racking these crazy payouts too. It's like respect, you know.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
For them, it's like so life changing.
Yeah, like imagine 20,000 US in Pakistan. Like what is that?
Bro, like, it's like five. Like that's like 5 times.
Yeah, but it's life changing. Even in Canada, like 20K and back in Canada is like what? I'm getting like 28K.
I gotta ask you, what do you think of Justin Trudeau or whatever?
Oh, I hate him. Yeah, everybody hates him. Like I see what he's trying
to. Like, what is he doing? Like,
he's just, I don't know, the way he views everything is just not the way people want to be viewing things.
Right.
I'm a conservative guy. Like I like the conservative side. So I hope they come back, because right now rural Canada's in sketchy
liberal,
times.
right? Or
yeah,
like
they're liberals is
and
like they're like backing up with China and like blocking. We can't even watch podcasts anymore. It's like not
I saw
allowed.
that.
Like, what's going on? Like we're turning into China or something.
Hopefully this podcast makes it on.
Oh, dude, I hope so. Or I won't be able to show anyone in Canada. I might have to move to Miami.
I saw that though. They're doing the regulation around podcasting and stuff.
Some crazy stuff.
Do you feel like, I don't know, a certain way in Canada, or no? Does that not affect you?
Honestly,
really?
bro, I've never traveled in my life. Oh, I have traveled to America, but not like by myself. This is my first time I've ever traveled alone. This is my first time I've ever even took a plane alone. This is like a big. Sorry, I'm starting so much. I see this as a big opening for me.
Right.
Because
it certainly is.
I think it's opened me up to a whole new chapter in my life. Because just coming here, doing this podcast with you, I've just realized what I can really do with my work. I could literally work here. I could stay here for the week and just keep working here and enjoy Miami.
Yep.
But like I could do so much now with my life. I can travel. I can see new things. I can maybe move places. I can move to Dubai, like all traders do.
Yeah.
But like it's just a new whole new era of my life has opened.
Dubai opened my mind up. I think traveling is something everyone should do.
Yeah.
This year I did a lot of traveling. I think I traveled. This year, I think I traveled like 10 out of 12 months.
Wow.
And like some of it was out of the country, some of it was inside of the country, right? So I did a lot of traveling this year. And I feel different. Like, dude, I feel way different.
It's been a day and I feel different.
Yeah.
Like waking up in my hotel, going upstairs in the pool, you know, it just feels so good. It's like, wow, I made it. Like I'm 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's
You're
like,
23.
Yeah, I'm 23. I just turned 23 this year.
Let's go.
Yeah. So it's just like, wow, like, you know, if you can do this, you know, or I'm gonna be at an office getting my 4-year degree.
You're ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm. You know, this is just the beginning. Like I said,
you were gonna get into be a cop. You said
I wanted to be a police officer. I was actually really close to getting to the end of the process, a long process, and I was at one of the last stages, and I just emailed them like, hey, I'm turning.
What are gun laws like in Canada?
Canada gun laws. Alberta, there's.
Can you hold or no? You carry?
No, you can't carry. No. But obviously the cops have guns. But there's still a lot of guns in Canada.
You gotta just say you're a cop.
Huh?
You gotta just say you're a cop.
Yeah, you're a cop. Yeah. No, but the bad thing is in Vancouver you can't even chase cars.
Really?
Like, we have laws because unless the person has like inflicted danger upon a citizen, like if they're like running around shooting people or crashing into cars, then you can chase. But other than that, you have to like pull over and let them run away. So like the policing there is kind of. boring in a sense.
Right.
So I had it trading on the back burner, policing on the front, and when trading popped off, then opposite. And
Dude,
then
good for you, man.
boom, policing on the picture. I made it happen.
You're
yeah.
here.
And I'm excited to see 3 years from now where I'll be. You know, that's the main thing.
All of us.
Yeah, 100%. God knows where we're all gonna be.
Dude, it's been for me. It's just been like the operating in the matrix, because I'm so like, I value the moment so much.
Yeah.
And when you value the moment so much, like over years, things can change so drastically.
Yeah.
Where I'm almost like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
Dude,
it can happen for anybody. Like
the smallest things in your life can make the biggest changes, and you just don't even understand. Like even like in trading, like you could make one small change in your trading strategy, and that could be like the one thing that is stopping you from being a profitable trader.
Yeah.
You know, everything in life takes one small step, and that's
so.
where
To wrap it up, what is like a good tip you want to give to any beginners or even people that might be a little bit lower than you? They're passing challenges, maybe they're not making money yet though, right?
Honestly, man, I think the biggest thing that stops everybody from being profitable is over trading. And I think the best way is, honestly, man, if you have the discipline and the consistency inside you to just take 2 trades a week, even if your strategy needs you to take multiple trades, I promise you, if you can take your 2 trades a week, and that being the most the most high probable trades that you will be a profitable trader, and I can guarantee you that. And that's, I'm saying you have an edge and you're like a proper trader. Take your 2 trades a week, most high probable, and you will be a profitable trader.
So for the people that are like, yeah, but I back tested and I'm taking 10 a week, right? Ooh. What do you say to them?
Then something's wrong in that strategy. Because I've seen a lot of strategies, and I've seen people always, at the end of the day, it comes down to the amount of trades they're taking. That's what's stopping them. Because like I said, why I want to find a new sources of income is because I'm trading too much. If I can knock my trading down to 2 trades a week, that was when I was most profitable. 2 trades a week.
Yep.
I'm telling you, take your 2 trades a week or even 3, and you will be profitable.
Well, listen, I'm excited to see where you end up. A year from now, even 6 months from now, stay on the path. Obviously.
100%.
Appreciate the support for the Funded Trader.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
And enjoy the weekend in Miami, and
we'll
continue to open your mind up to the opportunities that are out there.
100%. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for being on the pod. Let's go.
Thank you.